This episode of Grounded in Maine is sponsored by ESG Review. ESG Review magazine is published quarterly in February, May, August, and November, and is available for free in print and digital formats. ESG Review is devoted to environmental, social, and governance strategies, technologies, and investments. ESGreview.net is updated every Wednesday with 8 new stories and is home to feature articles, news items, and more. Visit esgreview.net to stay informed and help us spark the collaboration and awareness needed to develop sustainable economies and communities around the world.
There's a place where there's no trouble, no more pain, no more struggle.
Hi there. Thank you so much for listening to Grounded in Maine today. My name is Amy. I have a fun guest today. She is a friend of mine that I used to work with. Her name is Danielle Bailey. She is a mom of 3. She is a veteran. She is a service coordinator for elder home care, and she's an amazing caregiver. She also is an author. She wrote her first book a few years ago. Her book is called Rock the Boat, and it actually is scheduled to come out summer of 2023. She's just a really interesting person and so easy to listen to. And so it was just a sort of a fun conversation about sustainability for us. And it was really, we were just hanging out, honestly. So I hope that you enjoy this. And I apologize for my sound. I am playing with distance and I sound like I'm a little far away, and I apologize, but I did not want to do that again. So anyway, I am going to get to Danielle. Thank you so much for listening. Enjoy this conversation. Hi there. Thank you so much for listening to Grounded in Maine today. My name is Amy. I'm talking with my friend Danielle today, Danielle Bailey. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you.
And Danielle, I know we were just talking about composting, and I know that you have plants in your place, which is actually really healthy for your home.
Yes.
Plants are great for cleaning the air, right?
That's what they say. I've heard conflicting things. Some people say you need to have like your home jammed packed with them, and then some people say that you don't. But either way it goes, it's good for your mental health. It's good for your, to have some green space. So I'm fine with that. I'm good. If it's cleaning my air, great. If it's just giving me something green to look at and to take care of, that's also great.
That's also just fine.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. The more green, the better. That's how I feel too. My big plant for this year is lemon trees. I planted a bunch of lemon seeds this year. So I've got a whole bunch of little started lemons.
Really? Oh, that's so cute. I thought about it when I worked at Lowe's, and I wasn't going to be able to go on vacation, like leave the country like I wanted to. So I was like, I need to be somewhere where I'm outside. So a couple years ago, I worked in lawn and garden at Lowe's, and it was amazing. They had lemon trees, they had coffee bean trees. They had, not trees, plants. They had all these random plants that I wanted to buy. I'm not an outdoor gardening person yet. I haven't crossed that threshold. I imagine myself gardening. I just haven't done it yet. Like where I live in my little, housing area, we have a free garden up there, and my neighbor is always there every year planting stuff.
Oh.
And I need to, if maybe I want bees, and I want to get bees. And I think I have a decent sized little backyard. And for whatever reason, my brain is like, well, you can't have bees back here. I don't see why not. Where I live, I live by a little marshy area. So in the summertime, as soon as I walk down there, and there's tons of bees, and they're there from the first blossoms to the very end of the season. Then they go and it gets quiet. The tree in front of my house, I'm not sure what kind of tree that is, but the bees love it. So, and I was like, I could do this. I've only been stung once in my life,
Same.
and I want some bees. I think if I'm still here in this place next year, I'm gonna get some bees. I'm doing it.
Cool.
I'm getting some bees.
Have you looked
But
into it?
yeah, I've looked into it like I have. But the thing is I'll get my little niche obsessions. And sometimes, I'll go down a rabbit hole of bees, and
Right.
whether or not I want to keep them. I used to have when I was over in one of the assisted living homes, one of the aides there, she was a beekeeper, and she used to walk around with her bee stuff in her car. And if she saw a swarm or something, she'd go get it. One of our former clients, he had bees, and they had their honey, and I'm gonna do it. I'm very interested in it. I know you go get you order your bee, your queen, and they send you a queen, and I've looked it up. I've gotten far enough as to look it up and how it gets shipped to you and what to do and the little starter kits that you can buy.
Right.
I'm gonna try it. I think I'm gonna try it. Like there's certain little things that I am going to like kind of try to save the bees and get like see if we can get Maine bees. Because I didn't realize there were so many different variety of bees.
Right.
Because all they talk about is like the honeybee. That's all we know, but there's so many varieties of them. So do that, and I am gonna try my hand at composting. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do what is it, the garbage to compost, and get my little grim
Garbage to
bucket.
garden. Yeah.
Yeah, garbage to garden.
The little green.
I'm gonna do it. I keep on teasing at it, and then when I said I'll do the podcast, I was like, okay, well, you should maybe go take a look at it and see what it's about and what you have to do.
Cool.
So I did do that. So that's on my goal for December. But there's like when I was listening to some of you and I, Amy, we're gonna go foraging together. I was listening to your foraging podcast. I think everything's dead now.
With
Come
Casey?
this summer. Yes.
My podcast with Casey?
With Casey. You know what? He probably would come. Casey's our PT guy. Casey would probably come foraging with us. We're doing it. We're doing it.
Okay.
We're gonna live. We're not gonna die. We're gonna go to the bookstore, and I'm gonna get the Maine Forager book because I know there's one at Mockingbird bookstore in town. We're gonna go foraging, Amy. We're gonna do it. We're not gonna die.
Okay.
We're not. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. I've been wanting to. Okay, so I follow some foragers on Instagram, and she, cool. I think what is it, Black Forager? She's like, happy snacking, don't die, and we're gonna do. Amy, I'm for real. As soon as I heard that, I was like, me and Amy, we're gonna go foraging. We're gonna do it.
We're gonna try this out.
We're gonna try this out. We're not gonna die. We're gonna bring like some charcoal or something just in case we eat the wrong thing, so we can vomit. But I think we should do it.
Definitely.
Like, we have lived through so much. We might as well forage.
Right.
We might as well try it at least one time and look and see if we could do this. Because what if we end up, and I'm gonna go stretch out there. What if the zombies come and we need to know what we got to eat outside? We're already down for the count, Amy, because we wear glasses. I don't know what we're gonna do. If our glasses break, Amy, it's a wrap.
Don't I know it?
We need to know how to forage. So that is one of my things that I have been curious about learning about, like foraging.
You got plans, man.
I do have a bunch of plans.
Foraging, composting, bees, and you got.
I'm doing it.
Plans.
I gotta do.
Maybe you're gonna garden outside.
I wouldn't go that far yet. I'm gonna do the bees. Let me tell you, honestly.
No promises.
No, but it took me a while. I didn't like the way grass felt underneath my feet. I would not let grass touch my feet. Like, and when the couple of occasions when I
run barefoot.
Yes, on concrete, very different from grass. I'd
Wow.
rather touch hot concrete than this was before. I'm better now. I am better now. Like I remember when I would like put my feet in grass, I would call up my godmother and be like, "Hey, guess what I did today? I let my feet touch the grass." It was a big deal. It was a big deal.
Oh,
Finally, it wasn't last summer, and was it? Was it 29? It might have been 2019 summer. I had all these plants, and I had to changing the pots out, and I put my feet in the grass, and I was like, "I guess this is what we're doing." And I was outside with my feet in the grass in the backyard, changing out all of my pots and doing all of my things. I don't know. I'm still a little leery about it because things live in the grass. Like, we what the bees, the ones that are in the dirt.
the ground bees.
Yeah, so I get a little leery about it sometimes. I'm not fancy free and footloose in the grass.
Oh no, I don't walk around barefoot. No, no. I mean,
Yeah,
we've got
sometimes
chicken.
I have
We've
to.
got chicken poop everywhere, so I'm not gonna.
Yeah, but they say you should every so often put your feet, on the ground and get grounded. So I will, but I'll walk on like asphalt before
Grass.
grass. Yeah, it's still a little
That's
scary.
interesting.
Yeah, I was not someone who would be very naturey before I came to Maine. Like the reason I have so many plans, I'll have anxiety driven moments and I'll hyper focus on something. And 2019 was just plants. And I went from having one plant that was surviving in a taco salsa jar to like 30 plants in a month. It
Right.
was insane.
Well,
It
was
was
that Lowe's had something to do with that? Because I
no,
remember
no.
you were just like picking up plants left and right, and you're
Yeah,
like,
but this was
here,
before Lowe's. Lowe's,
you have
Lowe's.
extra plants? I'll take your plants.
I have like I calmed down because then I switched to another obsession the next year. But it was to the point where everywhere I went, I would see a plant, and it was like I was looking at a person. I was like, "Hey, boo, hi, I need a piece of this." And there was a plant. I don't know what doctor's office you go to, but it's part of the Midcoast Hospital. They have this monstera that is ginormous. And I took a piece. I went.
Do they know
I
that?
don't say I don't know. It was completely quiet, and I'm over there in the corner trying to like snap off a piece, and like some old people come off the elevator, and I'm like, nothing to see here. You don't
You didn't
nothing to
see
see here.
anything.
I'm just over here in the corner trying to take a piece of this plant. It
Oh
was
my
it was like a borderline obsession for me.
gosh.
It was an obsession. Every like couple of times I was getting plants in the mail. Sometimes they survive, sometimes they die. And I was just buying so many plants. So right now I'm okay. I actually gave some away to my friend because she needed some plants. So I gave her some. Now I'm more targeted in the plants that I want. I want to get me a Norfolk fir. I want one of those. I see them and I like them, but I want a big one. My people say the fiddle leaf fig is a hard one to keep. I've almost killed it a couple times, and she's still trucking. She's still. I can't. I know which ones I can't keep. I can't keep calithias. I kill them every time.
Huh.
There's a whole bunch of different varieties of them, but every time I get them, I'm like, you only got limited time to be here. And they're like, I'm gonna die. And I'm like, I know
Oh,
you won't stay. I've just spent $30 on you. You're beautiful in Lowe's. I'm not quite sure how you survive in Lowe's, yet die when you get to my house.
right.
I don't get it. I don't understand. I can't grow I think alocasias. Just happy in Lowe's and Home Depot. I bring them home, they die. So there's certain ones that I know which ones are good for me to get.
Hmm.
So, but I will say, I was sitting up there and I was trying to think of what am I actually like. I can verify my fake blue check mark, and I can say that I do that is actually sustainable? I thrift shop. That is where I am sustainable. 50% of my clothing come from the consignment shops or Goodwill, you know, usually consignment shop. And I even go to the part where like I shop thrifted online. Like I'm a thrift shopper. I
What is the thrift shop online, Danielle?
well they have there's a woman I follow on Instagram. A lot of them will go to the store and they'll find stuff and then they'll resell it. Now it's an upmark, and they
Sure.
don't sell it. What I like about when you're buying the thrifted clothes, if you find them online, is they're not selling them for an outrageous amount. You know, if she bought it for $10, she's gonna sell it for 10. It's not like this
Not like
huge thing.
markup. Okay.
Yeah, it's not a huge no, it's not a huge markup. So there's a particular lady I like,
Yeah.
and she reels me in because I like how she puts the clothes together. So I'll find something that she has gotten. And so of course there's the Poshmarks and I think the Mercais, but people resell their clothing. So one, you get it for cheaper. Two, it ends up not being, in a landfill. I I don't do as much fast fashion. Now, I will say I have a couple of I've gotten pulled in by the Shein. I've got a couple of little things, but when you get the fast fashion, you have to make sure you wash it properly because it will disintegrate on you. And so I try to stay away from that more so. I do love my vintage clothes. They never go out of style because
Okay.
they're already out of style. So I tend to go to the consignment shops, in town where people kind of bring them in. I stop there before. If I can't find what I'm looking for in the consignment shop or in the Goodwill, then I'll go ahead and venture out into the actual store. So I will say, for me, that is probably the biggest like sustainable thing that I do is how I shop.
Yeah.
Um,
Isn't it insane how many like people that dress by season or dress
mhm,
by the fashion,
the fashion.
and all those things have to go somewhere. And to think that
Mhm.
some people just like throw them away or, whatever, they're like, this is not fashionable anymore. I can't keep this.
Yep.
I'll take all those things.
Yeah, but it's like, but it's I was when I was reading some of the articles and like it's it's cheap. Well, it's cheap labor, and then the amount of water and stuff they need to produce these items. It used to be that we had fashion and it would come out seasonally, and you would have just a slow turnover. Now they're saying people are pushing out things constantly. It's a constant turnover. It's a constant
Oh,
want, and the stuff is made poorly. So it's made poorly. By the time you get it in a couple of weeks, there'll be something new coming out, and you're not going to want to wear what you have.
right. Yeah.
So it's great. I can't. I'm too old to dress in that way.
For real.
I don't have the mindset, nor do I have the money. I know what lasts, and I and I also feel like fast fashion is almost for people who don't necessarily have a particular style.
Hmm.
They don't. So you like what is whatever's being put out at that time, which I guess there's nothing wrong with it. I'm not saying, but I know I have a certain way that I want. And if I do buy something that is, like I said, like a fast fashion, I tend to treat it with more care because I know that it's not as well made
Right.
as a different product, as a different something else I purchased. But
Right. Oh, I
that is
like
probably
that. That's cool.
I even reuse my hair. Not, well, well, okay, I do my hair a lot. I'm living up in Maine. There isn't a lot of black hair supply stores. So I will until it gets to the point where it's just so bad. I'm like, okay, you've done your due diligence, plastic hair. I'll let you go. But I reuse it. I don't. I'll reuse it until
It's not usable.
Yeah, I'll get at least a good 5 times out of it. Because when it's not human hair, if it's just synthetic hair, you can wash it. You wash it and you dry it like you're drying a fleece. That's basically it's in my opinion, that's basically what it is. It's just this synthetic thing. So I don't and it's not super expensive, but it's also not cheap. So
Right.
I just take it out, rebundle it up, wash it, let it dry, reuse it again. So I am not a a one hairstyle person because I mean a one use person because I'm constantly changing my hair. So if I'm constantly changing it, that would just be too much to constantly be throwing away. That's crazy.
That's really interesting. I'm really glad that you do that. And that's I didn't know that you could reuse it. I mean, I know that I've seen you sometimes and you're like, "Oh, this little strand just fell out." And I feel like you like put it in your pocket for later,
I
and I
do. Oh
didn't
my
really
god.
think anything of that. But
I would
that
just
makes more sense now.
yeah, I would just take it and there'll be hair tucked away in places in the car. Like I'll be sitting there like, oh no, a piece fell out. Oh dear. I'll be at client's house and I'm like, oh, here goes one. Let me show you how I do it. And
The
I'll
hair's
just show
falling
them
out.
how I'll do my hair and I'll just put it back in and keep on going about the business. But yeah, the certain types of hair, like the human hair, of course, you can use over because it's human. It's different. So you can constantly use that if you choose to. Um, Synthetic hair is a little bit different because the synthetic, they end up giving you different textures. So some of them last better than others. So the ones that I can reuse over and it doesn't look terrible, I'll reuse them over. I I believe I would do that even if I lived in a city. I would still reuse it over because it's just too much to constantly
Right.
going and constantly buying the same. I take it out, I wash it, put it away in my hair bags, and I pull it out later when I need it. But yes, I'm gonna return back to we will be foraging in the spring, Amy. This will be a podcast, and maybe we'll put it on YouTube, guys.
Yeah.
Just me and Amy foraging in the Maine woods. No, Amy, I'm serious. I would like to try it. I think we could do it. We have books, and we also have Google camera. We have Google where you can take a picture of it so that we don't die, just in case we don't know what it is.
And we got
I
friends
think
that know.
yes. Well, you have friends. I don't, because I don't think Quinn. The only friend who I know who I would do this with would be Quinn. Quinn's not going to eat anything. She'll just be there to make sure that we don't die. She'll like, I will bring my first aid kit.
Yeah.
I
Well,
was like, okay.
we could text Casey and be like, "Hey, what do you?"
I definitely feel like if we say, Casey, what are you doing next weekend? Amy and I want to forage. He'd probably be like, okay, I, I will see him on Tuesday. I will ask the question, shall we forage? I, I want to do it. I want to try it. Um, and I think the next time I report, I will set up because here, I don't know how far the reach is, but we have what is the garbage to garden, right? So you can get it's a monthly subscription. It's $19 to start for the regular pail. And every time I throw a scrap away, I feel bad. Like I should throw all these scraps away. So and I just my brain gets distracted and I just don't do the order. So you sign up for it and they drop off a green pail, like a 5 gallon, or they have a 5 gallon, and I think they have a 12 gallon.
Wow.
I'm not sure. They have two. I know they have two different kinds, and they drop it off, and every week they pick up. They pick up. You set it outside, and they come in and get it. It's a very easy thing to do. I I'm gonna do it now because I'm talking on a
Yeah.
sustainability
Put it out into the
podcast.
world.
And I just threw away a bunch of apple peels yesterday when I made apple pie, and I felt some kind of way about it. So I'm gonna do it. We do tend to have I feel like more scraps of that stuff than anything. And even if I don't, gosh, use the vegetables that I buy,
Right.
sometimes happens to the best of us. They have these memes. Have you seen those memes where they say me picking out, what is it? Me picking out me lovingly picking out the vegetables that are gonna go to my home to die. And sometimes I feel like that's me. Like I'm like, I want an eggplant and I don't cook it. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
So at least I won't feel bad if I'm putting it in my compost, if I
Right.
make that critical error. Or if my daughter doesn't use the vegetables that I bought her that are currently just sitting in the refrigerator. I'm going to compost them. I will do this. I will do this, Amy. And when we report back, I
Report
will
back.
tell
Yes,
you
please.
I have my green buckets. But
What do you put in it?
you know what? I know from what I know a little bit about it. I know you don't put fats in there. You don't put like animal byproducts. So it's certain vegetables that I feel like you can put almost all vegetables in it. There's no animal byproducts. Because I was gonna do it before. I thought about it. I'm always thinking about doing something, and then a squirrel will come by, and my brain will squirrel, and it'll go away. Um, but I believe it's basically all of your like fruits and vegetable scraps you can put in there. Um, I know you were talking about you're trying to do mealworms, right? Are you trying to do them? Did you get them?
I have not. No, I'm gonna have the mealworm lady on the podcast hopefully, and she'll give me some tips.
Oh,
I have worm compost. I don't have
yeah, worm.
mealworms yet.
Yeah, that's freaky. I want mealworms too. I don't know why I want all these things. It's like I feel like working actually stops me from doing all of the things that I want to do. Like I think if I just had unlimited time,
Right.
I would have a garden and a greenhouse
Right.
and bees
Right.
and probably churn my own butter. I mean, I'd probably do all these random things. I have yet to can. I want to can. I haven't canned yet. I feel like living in Maine, you should be canning something.
Come on
And
over to my house.
well, I will come over. We're gonna can. I haven't canned. I keep on. So many people can, and I'm like, why haven't you canned at least one thing? You don't have to continually do it. Just say you did it one time. I'd be happy to say I canned because my family thinks I live up here in Maine and I'm just out here building a log cabin every season. Like I've got cows and goats. I don't. I don't have cows and goats. I don't. I have a supermarket. But they think that, and I really feel like I should live up to their dream finally of just being someone who just churns her own butter and canned stuff.
Let's
I, I
do it.
feel I, I feel like, and then Quinn knows how to spindle. She has a spindle. She knows how to make her own yarn.
That's
So
cool.
maybe we should just bump it up and we should just do it. I feel like we should.
I'm like this podcast, I'm like learning all these cool things, and I'm like putting together my community, like so that I can learn from different people and do all these things. Like, I want someone who's going to be game to like try stuff with me. But like there are people. I talk to someone who does soaps and makes her own
Hmm.
cleaners, and I'm like, I need you on my team.
Yes.
And like Casey with the foraging, like I don't know that I feel safe foraging without someone that knows what they're doing.
No, we'll just do it. We can do it. I have faith in us.
Ooh.
And a book, girl. I'm not saying we're
Ew.
just gonna go out there and just eat stuff. No. We're gonna have books. And yeah, I'm probably Casey. Yeah. I feel like, yeah, and Casey.
We'll do some hardcore training with him before we do it.
I feel like it'd be hardcore training too. I feel like Casey is one step away from living off the grid. Like
For
he's
sure.
he's got he's got a couple more years and we're just never gonna find Casey again. Casey's gonna be living off the grid.
He's just disappearing. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I know he's gonna laugh when I tell him that. He's probably gonna be like, "Yeah, sounds about right."
Did you tell him that you listened to his podcast episode?
No, I don't think I listened to Casey's podcast episode.
Oh, you were saying the foraging one. I mean,
That
I
was
had
good.
two because my friend Karen was like
It
the.
was Karen. I
Oh,
listened to
okay.
Karen's. Okay, so
Okay.
now I have got to find Casey's.
Yeah.
Porch.
He hasn't listened.
Oh,
He's like, I don't think I could possibly listen to my voice. Like,
I'm gonna miss. Oh
tell
my
me
God.
about it.
See, I thought, girl, you was just throwing it out there because I know Casey does a bunch of stuff. I didn't realize that Casey was foraging. Okay, so now we got to forage for Casey now.
Yeah.
I feel like this is what is that word? Serendipity. I feel like this is what we're supposed to be doing now. We both go see Casey. We both have no clue. I feel like it should be recorded because I feel like we're gonna eat something, probably me, that we shouldn't eat. Again, we're gonna have the stuff that makes you throw up
Yeah.
because we might need it.
Right.
Probably get some anaphylactic so we could stab it in our thigh because I feel like something's gonna happen. I feel like it's gonna be a little fun. It's gonna
Right.
be a little.
Well,
I was.
right. What I learned from his episode, like the big takeaway from talking to him was that he said, don't there are things that will be okay and things that will not be okay, but they're not going to kill you. He said, but just make sure you know what will kill you and stay away from that. I'm like, okay.
Oh,
Most
that.
important, make sure it's not going to kill, like research that before you go
Yes.
touching.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay. We can do that.
Yeah.
I think we can do that. I think we should go armed with the knowledge and then have Casey kind of like be there to say, don't eat that. Still don't eat it, even though we knew, or don't touch that.
Yeah.
I would
I'm
probably say
looking
don't
forward
touch
to
that.
hearing what you think of that.
Oh my God, it's gonna be so funny. I love it. Yes. Because I've never had poison ivy. I've never touched any of that. Sumac, nothing. And I feel like I don't want to. But doesn't seem like it's good for anyone.
There's
But
definitely no appeal. Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
but I've been thinking about this. I was like, I wonder if I can get like a little EpiPen from the VA and take that with us. So they're gonna be like, why do you need this? You don't have any allergies. I'm like, but I'm gonna go foraging, Dr. Christakis. I need an EpiPen so I don't die. I
Right?
feel like he'll give me one because, you
Because
know,
2022 now, and we don't know what's going to come.
we don't know. We need to learn how to forage. Like I probably need to learn how to milk a cow and dress a turkey. And I feel like, listen, honestly, I feel like Casey's the one-stop shop for all of this. I feel like we go with Casey, we learn how to hunt, forage, dig for potatoes,
Right?
everything.
Right. He was telling me last week that his girlfriend used deer fat to make like Musher Secret, the dog paw
Mm-hmm.
stuff. And I was like,
Oh,
that's really hard to get. That's really cool. Like, would you sell that? Could I get some of that? And he was like, I don't know if you can do that if the state of Maine allows
I
it.
don't
It's a
think they do. We were talking about that. We were talking about that at the office. Like when people go do trophy shooting or when people have too much deer meat, I don't think they can sell. I think if it were friends, you can like say, here, take it. But I don't think if you go hunting that you can sell what has not been because they don't know how you dressed it, how you taken it out. I think that's the reason. I could be wrong.
That's really weird, but like non-game food is okay.
Yeah, because it's been in a factory for people who maybe or may not
Yeah,
have E. coli and salmonella in
true. Okay.
there. you know, yeah, but I think that's why because we were talking about it. We were randomly kind of talking about it. Because I was telling them that I made Daisy's food, so then it kind of um that kind of jumped off from that. But yeah, I'm trying to think. So what else do you do sustainable?
Me?
Yes, ma'am.
I don't. I feel like I don't do a lot. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
I have really big ambitions. I mean, I have the worm compost. I garden. I can.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I avoid plastic whenever possible. I shop local.
Mm-hmm.
We don't eat out like hardly ever. We just make it.
Oh, I do eat out. I do eat out.
I would love to eat out more, but it's expensive, and then I feel bad.
Oh.
I don't know. I mean, I like make my own cleaners, but they're not like great cleaners.
Hmm.
That's
We
definitely
well, when we had, and I don't know what her formula was, but when I cleaned houses on base, she made everything. She made all of her cleaners.
cool.
And they actually, I just remember it was with borax and Castile soap. Those were like two of her main ingredients.
Yeah.
But I don't know where she got everything from. But yeah,
I mean,
borax and
I
yeah,
basically use vanilla, vinegar, and water.
vinegar and water.
And then, use baking soda for harder
Hmm.
dirt.
It might have been baking soda, not borax. It might have been baking soda, but it was definitely some Castile soap in there. And we used everything from all the cleaners, the oven cleaners, everything was stuff, unless it was a really hardcore thing that didn't come up. But usually everything was what she made, and nothing irritated us.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
I'm helping to organize a soap making workshop in January.
oh, I'm gonna come. I have friends
Yeah,
that make soap. I'll try it. I won't say I will consistently keep up with it, but
right.
I like knowing how to do things because I know a little bit. Like she'll make her turmeric soap, and I know that it has to cure and all these other things you have to do with the soap. So knowing how to do it, am I going to do it consistently? No, I'm never
Well,
going to lie and say that.
yeah. I mean, I think if you make soap, you're gonna make like a mold full, so you'll
Hmm.
have like several bars. So it's not like
Yeah.
you have to do it once a week or once a month even, but and especially like if you have a team,
Hmm.
do it together, and then it's not as much of a pain. Hopefully, I'm hoping.
I don't think it's going to be. Oh, I don't think it's going to be pain. I don't think anything like that. It's just that I know possibly I will not keep it up, but I would like to learn. I like to learn all kinds of things. I but certain things I know I'm just going to learn just to learn. Like at one time, I was going to go for my master's in to be an herbalist, but they didn't accept me in the program, and I was like, well, I guess that's going to be that. So I
Oh,
just yeah, it was when there's because there's only a few schools that take financial aid that you can use it through there,
okay.
and I had to ask for permission, and my GPA was in the 1914 trenches. I just I was so done with school when I was done. So then she was like, "Well, you can get a certification." I was like, "But
Okay.
that's not covered by financial aid." I was like, "How much is that going to be a month?" And she said $400. I was like, "Ma'am, no,
That's
close
my
my
car
file."
payment.
I was like, "No, girl." I was like, "Please close the file, throw it away, throw it in the trash, thank you." So that was that. But I love knowing what I can do if I choose to do it. And I may or may not, do it. But I like knowing I like having enough knowledge so that if I go to the health food store, if I go to someone who actually takes the time out to do these things, that I can say, can you make me a blend with such and such and whatever else you think needs to go in there? That's what I want. I want to know a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that. Do I want to learn how to make elderberry syrup? Yes. Am I going to do it? No. I'm gonna go to the farmer's market and get it from the lady who does it and call it. I know I'm not gonna do it, but I like knowing how to do it. I love
You
it.
can do it in a crock pot.
Yep, yeah.
I have a
I'm,
recipe to do it in a crock pot. It was actually very easy.
I think all of it's easy. But here's the thing: am I gonna do it?
Right.
I do not mind supporting the people who actually want
Right.
to do it. I love it. I love going out there and getting stuff from people who like this is your passion. This is what you want to do. I just love knowing about it and knowing if I need it, I know what I need. I know what I can use. Like, hey,
Oh my gosh.
but yeah, I like knowing. I like the knowing of things. I will definitely say that. Like when I was in school, I don't know where they have it at now, but I was going for my minor in holistic health. So I love doing all of those kind of things. Sometimes I feel like I think I definitely think I'm gonna skip subjects. Like I know if I had my kids and would like come and help me go out there and do something, they actually would. Like I believe my oldest would be really good at living sustainable and learning about herbs and doing all that kind of stuff. It's just that we all have ADHD, Amy, and it's hard.
Yeah.
We'll
Totally.
talk about it, which is why I was like, I want to learn about it, but I know I
Yeah.
won't do it. But I will. I love being able to have a discussion about it.
Right.
Like,
Well, and I want the like hands-on experience to know that I can do it. So
yes.
I really appreciate all of those things, the workshops and
Hmm.
talking to folks and them saying you can totally do it. If I can do it, anyone can do it. But like you, and I know it's the same for a lot of people, like because we're also working. Like
Hmm.
I have huge ambitions. I want to have a
Me too.
cow, but I can't because I don't have time to milk it twice a day and take care of the chickens and the dog and like
Hmm.
I just can't. I don't have time enough time in the day. So I
Yep.
have these big ambitions of cooking every night and
Hmm.
doing all these things. So we'll buy the extra vegetables and then like I'm not accounting for the fact that I might have a really crappy day and be exhausted.
Yep.
And I'm like, dude, do we have frozen pizza in the, do we have frozen pizza in the, I'm sure
Hmm.
it happens to a lot of people. And I just
Yep.
have, we've got emergency food.
I mean, the best times of my life, I'm not gonna lie, was when I was a housewife. I feel like I squandered a lot of my time. I could have been had bees and everything at that era. Like we I had such structure in what I was doing. The kids went to school and I had everything kind of laid out. But back then I wasn't thinking about having bees.
Right.
I mean, I
Totally.
had a bunch of animals, dogs and cats, but that would have been a prime time to have some bees. And I would have had bees. And if I could go back and do some things over again, I probably would have taken the soap class and I would have done all these other things, learned pottery and just, I want to live the life of a retired person with no retire, no retirement money.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, we just were, our minds were in a different place
hmm
20
hmm
years ago. But I mean, sure, the timing might have been better, but if the brain wasn't there, it's just in one ear and out the other.
Yeah.
This is like for me, this is I've been saying for a while like this is sort of like a midlife crisis for me, like trying to
Hmm.
figure things out.
Hmm.
But I've been talking to some folks and we've like kind of twisted it a little bit to be like my season of discovery, like trying
Oh, I
different things and
like
not
that.
like I'm a complete mess, but like I am learning new things and
Yes.
figuring out what works.
Yes. Season of discovery. I like that. I shall be using that as well. Season of discovery. I I definitely feel bored if I'm not learning something new every so often.
Stick with
Like
me.
huh?
Stick with me.
Yes. So and it's so these things like I know how to bake, I know how to cook. I haven't dehydrated anything yet. I will because I bought one of those little air fryers that are multitaskers. And I'm gonna go buy a bunch of mangoes and I'm gonna dehydrate them and see how that comes out.
Cool.
And do the little things. And it's not, I don't know if it was your podcast I was listening to or just life in general, taking small bites of things as to not be overwhelmed. Like
Right.
I'm a side quest. So in doing in finishing up the book and having to do everything on my own, when I think about it, it gets overwhelming. So overwhelming. The marketing, the planning, oof, terrible. But when I remember to take a small bite it feels a little bit
Right.
easier because I want to gobble everything up. I want to do everything all at one time.
Right.
And I know I can't because I I just can't. Like you. I wouldn't mind having a cow or a goat. I wouldn't mind just having everything there or to just properly be like do a homestead, do a full homestead. I would love to do it, but I know that I would probably end up on the Discovery Channel. Did you ever watch? I watched it at a client's house one time where people want to go homesteading and they just do it. And all of a sudden they have to have these people come out there and save them and tell them that
Oh my
you're
God.
homesteading wrong. Oh, it's such a good series. And I've seen this family before and I don't remember what it's called, but I believe it was on the Discovery Channel. I don't know if it's on, but these people, and they would just be the craziest things. Like they just decided they're going to live off the grid and put themselves in smack dab in the middle of a fire path
Oh
where
my
the way
God.
they had their houses, they was like, yeah, if a fire happens, you're completely surrounded by trees. You're going to die. And he would have to show them how to live out there. And it was pretty awesome. I don't want to be that couple or that family. I want to, whatever I do it properly. I
Yeah.
don't have to do it all. Like, I don't know if I'd ever want to hunt, but I wouldn't mind going at least one time
Right.
to do
Yeah.
it.
This is all training. Like my end game
Mhm.
is homesteading. It's,
Ooh,
but I'm learning all these things.
yep.
So that's for sure.
Little
Um,
bites.
well, I mean that is like the premises for the podcast is to make it
Hmm.
not so overwhelming. Like I'm
Hmm.
talking to people who are doing all kinds of things, and I don't expect people to be like, I'm going to pick all these things up and start tomorrow. But like,
Hmm.
if I had an episode on bees. You should listen to that.
I
But
am gonna listen to it, and I think I popped on there, but I was like, okay, I am gonna listen.
yeah, but
Yes,
like,
ma'am.
you don't have to do recycling and composting and all the things, and you certainly can, but it's not required to be making moves towards sustainability.
Hmm.
We can all do sustainable things without being like the queen of sustainability.
Yeah,
We're all doing something.
yeah, little parts. Hmm.
Yeah. Anyway,
I know. I do. I know. I when when you had asked, who wants to talk, I was like, oof, what am I had to think about what am I doing sustainable. And then I had to, I said, okay, the clothes for sure. That is something, keep some things out of the landfill for sure. I try to do my best with reinventing what I have, to make it
yeah.
better. I'm still mad that I threw away a pair of boots. I could have did those boots over. I'm still mad about that. I could have went on Pinterest and did my boots over. I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna move past it. It's been a couple years now. But I do love a good upcycling. That's where I I am more like in product upcycling than I am with anything else. So that's like my niche. This is what I know how to do. I'm good at that. I would like to again venture out and actually put forth effort and make the soap, make the jams, make the pasta sauces that everybody else manages to store in their cabinets. I would like to do those things. But sometimes, yes, it is the time. And then it's like there's so many things to do, and it just feels like not enough time to do it.
Right. Well, and to your point, like, just to learn how to do it all, maybe watch
Mhm.
it be done or do it once on your own, just to say that you can. Like, you don't have to
Mhm.
do it every day, but it's good to know.
Yeah.
It's good to have that knowledge,
Yes.
or even like muscle memory. And that's one of the things
Hmm.
that that I've learned on some podcasts and talking to people is that, you do one thing until it feels familiar,
Hmm.
and you can continue doing it or you can try something new, and then you still have that in your bank
Yeah.
and you're learning a new thing.
I'd probably do something like that. Like I my ADHD, it's so that I I don't sit on something for so long. I have my mainstays, things that I'm going to do, that I'm going to sit on and do. And then there's all the other little pieces of things that I want to say, oh, I can do that. I one of these days I need to learn how to do sourdough bread.
Oh my gosh, that's a goal.
Yeah, I know it feels
And people are
ambitious.
like, it's so easy, and
It's
it's
not. You got to keep the mother alive, okay? And I tried, and I don't know what I was doing. It was terrible. So, but I will try. I will make some artisan bread. I will do this. I might not mill the wheat myself, but I will try.
right.
I will try.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah, these little small bites of being sustainable. Like I have, like you said, I have lofty ambitions as well. Like I would love to do it, but I have to know what's in my wheelbarrow.
Same.
So I do not mind supporting the people who actually do it. Like I will even buy you, do you need a plant? I will buy you the plant that you need because I know I'm not going to do it. I know I'm not going to maintain it. I'm not going to keep it up. Do you need some seeds? Okay, I'm here. Here you go. I will contribute to whatever this is because I know I'm not going to do it, but I still want it. I still want access to it. Um so like I do think for sure one of the things that I can say that a couple of things that I say I'm going to do. I am going to compost. I am going to figure that out. I am going to get that done. That's something that I've been telling myself I've been wanting to do for years and years. And it's one of the easiest things to do. It's like really. And then next summer, I'm going to listen to the bee podcast. I've listened to multiple bee podcast stuff now because I find it so fascinating. You know, I'm going to do it. I'm gonna get some bees next year. I'm gonna try it out. I'm gonna do it.
Do you have
And then
local people
Amy,
here to help you through that, or do
huh?
you have local people here to help you through that?
No, not
Okay.
really.
Okay. I mean,
I might
Nicole, who
do
I
it.
did the podcast episode, lives right around the corner for me.
Yeah, I
She's
will
happy to help
definitely
out.
reach out because I don't want to just like kill a bunch of bees. So
There's
I
like
will
a whole
definitely
Facebook community.
yeah, I will. There's people like that's one of the easier things to go ahead and say I'm gonna try to do and find out all the stuff and get all the things. Listen to that podcast and get my resources in. But I definitely want to try that. I definitely want to do it. Do I want to get as good as a Texas beekeeper, where she just scooping up bees with her hands? Yes. Yes, I do.
You betcha.
Yes, that is a goal, and I will not be bees. To hear a bee buzz doesn't bother me. To hear a mosquito buzz, I hate. I hate. I can listen. I can sit somewhere and listen to bees buzz all day. I love the soft buzzing of a bee. Um, so that definitely is a absolute goal. So you can hold me accountable to that because I probably will need somebody to hold me accountable.
Writing it down
It's
right now.
okay. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Garden, garbage to garden, and bees. Garden to garbage. I'll do next month for sure. And the bees, I will do my research and try to get them in the springtime. Order my little queen bee.
Cool.
So
Awesome. Well, this was a super fun surprise. I did not expect all this stuff from you.
I'm full of surprises all the time. So I'm trying to think let's see, when do we recap? Well, we definitely have to do, a recap conversation
Well,
to
yeah,
see
we'll
if I
talk about
actually,
garbage to garden, and then in the spring we'll
yes.
go foraging, and in the spring you're gonna get bees, so
Yes.
lots to catch up on.
Oh my God, that would be so much fun. And if we do the soap class in January, if you're gonna do that, you have to let me know
Yep,
because
you
I
bet.
would definitely try that. I think that would be fun. Definitely fun to do.
Yeah,
And
cool.
I'm gonna eventually come to your house and we're gonna can. I'm gonna find something to can.
Heck yeah.
I'm gonna can.
Awesome.
I I want to can something. I don't know what, but I'm gonna can something.
Okay. Next weekend, I'm going to make applesauce, I think.
Making applesauce. Didn't you make applesauce? We made applesauce last year, right? Was it you?
Applesauce every year.
Oh, okay. Well, we have an abundance of apples now. All the apples are like on sale now because I did make a delicious apple pie. The apple pie it's gone now. I feel like I ate half of it myself.
Awesome. But it was
It was good.
good.
It was really good. That
And the
was I do not make successful apple pies. There's always something wrong with it. I actually made a good one this year. I was very proud of myself.
good job.
Thank you.
I always struggle with the crust. Like it tastes good, but I can't roll it out thin enough to be able to all to be strong enough to withstand being picked up and put on a pan.
Oh, really? The crust?
It
The
like always
crust is
sticks to the counter.
no, the crust is what I normally do the best. And the filling is normally trash. But the crust is pretty good.
Okay.
But
Well, let's
yeah,
put our skills together, man.
yes, we should.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So the question that I always ask everyone,
Mhm.
Danielle, if when I say the word sustainability, what does that mean to you? Like personally?
Sustainability, I honestly feel like it's the ability to do something yourself,
Okay.
to not have to depend on someone to provide or to get your food, shelter, water. It's the first, what is it, Maslow hierarchy of needs. It's like, can you manage this in order to function? Right now, I would say for myself, that would be a no. But that is what's sustainable, like being able to hunt, grow your own
Sustain
food.
yourself.
Yes.
Right.
For me, that is at its core what it means to me. Like you can take little bits and pieces out of it. Like
Right.
I might not be able to garden, but yep, I can hunt. I might not be able to hunt, but I can garden.
And you can
You
grow
know,
plants.
yes. So it's those, but the whole picture underneath the umbrella is to be able to provide for yourself without any outside help. That's what it kind of means. And then you have offshoots of it that you can specialize in, and that's your niche. This is what you do.
Okay. I mean, for
Yeah.
me, it's I totally get that and I can totally appreciate that. For me, it's more like community. Like
Hmm.
I to be able to know how to do it and to be able to do it is for and this is just for me, like to be able to do it is important. I
Hmm.
cannot personally do all the things. And so
No, no.
I want to have people like canning tomatoes is not hard. It's
Hmm.
super time consuming. And so if you
Hmm.
have somebody to help you do it,
Hmm.
it goes so much faster. It's more fun and it
Yeah.
goes faster. So for me it's like, there are a lot of things that are not hard, but doing
Hmm.
all the things takes up more time than I have. And
Hmm.
so I want to join forces, which is my like homesteading community is what that's my end game. Like not me
Hmm.
living off the grid with nobody helping out with anything.
Hmm.
I want people around me. Like we do a lot of bartering in our neighborhood, actually, in
Hmm.
our community. James, my husband is an arborist, and he will like deliver wood chips to. He delivers wood chips to the Old Crow Ranch in Durham, and they'll like
Hmm.
give him credit toward grass-fed beef,
Ooh.
like stuff like that. We've got little connections with people,
Hmm.
and I mean, I love that.
I know at the gym I'm at the fitness studio, they have a co-op. And I keep on saying like there's certain things I'm like, you should join these things
Yeah.
because it just kind of it kind of narrows everything down for you, so you're not just kind of wandering around the store. Because I'm a wanderer and I'm a random picker up something. I'd be like, oh, what's this exotic looking thing? And
Right?
I'll just buy it. So if I joined the co-op, or if I did the thing, like you said, went on there, did the food line and just went, because I used to go to the farmer's market
Yeah.
so much more than I go now. I don't even know if I went. I don't know when was the last time I've gone. I've just been so busy.
Twice this
And I,
year I've been. Twice.
yeah, and it's like, what the heck? It's like I love going there. We spend a ton of daggone money in the farmers markets. I want everything. I want everything, all the things, all of them, all the time.
Right.
So, but it does feel better going and spending however much I spend at the farmers market as opposed to going to the big supermarket. So there's a lot of things that I need to get back into practice with doing that I've fallen out of practice for whatever reason. I don't, there isn't really a reason. Like, yeah, I'm busy, but I'm always busy. I'm always doing something, but I always made time to do it before, and I just don't seem to make the time to do these things now.
Right.
So I gotta get back on that also. It's-
No guarantees. I'm not holding you to anything.
no, you're not gonna hold me to that one. I do want to go back though. I do. That is something I do want to
Yeah.
do on the list of things
Right.
that I want to do. It's such a huge list. But yes, but I do love your meaning of sustainability, because yes, I also do love the idea of having community, of having people that you go to who specialize in these things that you
Right.
might want to learn or maybe not. But you know that there is someone else that can do this and
Yeah.
you don't have to.
Yeah. I mean, I just don't want the
Mhm.
responsibility. That's it for me. I don't want the responsibility if something goes wrong. I want like backup to be like, hey, Allison, such and such didn't grow this year. Like, what would you suggest? Or, I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
do you have any extra soap?
Yeah, I don't want to, like, I love the idea. I guess I should amend my sustainability. I love the idea of knowing how to do it all. But
Right.
I should have said, but I don't want to. I don't, I do not, I'm not going to,
Right.
but I love knowing how to do it. Do I ever want to learn how to, dress a deer? Like, yeah. Am I gonna do it? No, no. I just want to know how to do it. Just one good time.
Right.
That's it. I'm
Yeah.
all set. Don't want to do it. Don't want this to be my job. I will probably not sit out there in the cold and go hunting, except for that one time, probably with Casey. And that's gonna be it. I'm not doing it any more than that. I'm not. I'm not. I know I'm not. I know I'm not. But I do want to learn
Yeah.
all
Uh,
the things. What'd you say?
oh, I was just giggling a little bit. But so, Danielle, if somebody wanted to follow you and be like, I want to check up on her and see if she, after this long conversation, like, is she actually going to do it? I want to hear about this garbage to garden thing and see if she goes to the soap thing. Like, how would someone track you down?
Well, I have two. I have the writers my writers page, which is open, is the dope Danielle Bailey, and then my private one is Danny Girl. What is it? Danny Girl 76, and they're both on Instagram. On Facebook, it's just my name, Danielle Bailey. Um,
And Danny girl,
and
the
and
girl is Gurl, not J.
yes, URL, yeah. And the dope Danielle Bailey, like I said, that's open. So sometimes I'm posting about writer stuff, and sometimes I cross my worlds over. Um, but I will filter out and do segue probably to do more, just my whole entire life probably on my writer's page. But that will probably be the easiest way to find me.
The dope
Because you
Danielle
try to,
Bailey.
yeah, yeah. If you try to request me on my other page, I'm gonna be like, I don't know you. Who are you?
A
And so,
little
but
more
I probably will.
protective of our personal.
Yeah. So the other one that's open. I mean, but granted, I sometimes, like I said, sometimes I cross and mix over my two little worlds. But yes, I am gonna do yes. Whoever listens to this, and I will also be like, I will also be telling everyone whenever you finish editing out our 10-hour long conversation. Woo! Um, yeah, I am gonna do it. I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna post about it because I post about everything.
Cool. I mean, hopefully this conversation will like inspire someone to be like, wow.
I
And
can try it.
maybe it's almost like a book club or something like that. Like, I should try composting. Like, I wonder if I
Yes.
should try that. And, maybe we could do like a support group or something.
Yes, like yes. I think we
Sustainability
could do this.
support group.
Yes, and all over, not just here in Maine. I feel like everyone can compost in some way,
Yeah.
even in a city, depending on where you live and how you can do this. Like how do we compost?
Right. Well, that's why I'm a big fan of the worm compost bin because it's under my sink in the kitchen. Like you can do it in the city and
Mhm.
it's right there.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I
But
know they used to have one. They had one at the Woolwich Central School. They had a big one. I don't know. I'm quite sure it's still active, but they had a really big bin, and that's where the mealworms were inside that big bin out there. Yep.
all right.
We
Well,
should.
thanks so much. This has been super fun. I
It
haven't seen
has.
you in a very long time, so it's fun to catch up
I know. I
and learn about
know.
all the cool things you're doing because I did not know that about a lot of those things.
I'm so random. I'm always doing something random. I really am.
You got big plans though.
I'm trying. But everybody got plans. You just gotta finish them up. I will finish them up.
I want to just take a quick second and thank my guest again. I also need to thank Buzzsprout for hosting the podcast and Jane Bolduck for her amazing music. And thank you for listening.
There'll come a day, my mama told me, when I find love to have and hold me, a heart that's strong and so sincere. Just tell me, how do I get there from here? Oh, tell me, how do I get there from here? 'Cause here and now I'm so far down that mercy's bound to find me. We'll find a way to soothe the sickness. We'll heal the ache with sweet forgiveness. Wages of war will disappear. Just tell me, how do I get there from here? I wonder, how do I get there from here? Yeah, 'cause here and now I'm so far down that mercy's bound to find me. When that state of grace has finally found me, well, there'll be music, ooh, and good friends around me, and I'll just smile through happy tears and wonder